device. All right. There was no sound on YouTube. Now there is. All right. Sorry, I had to fix that real quick. Okami, welcome. Oh, today's a sad day. Today was the first time I lose with the FOMC strangle. I mean, I never expected, in fact, that the minutes will be successful on the strangle. We know it's we know it's an event, but there's really not a there's really the big main event is the meeting. We all know that. And I was on vacation on the last meeting, and I went through the data, and apparently it didn't work either. So I think we can put this trade to rest or keep doing it. I mean, I still believe it's a small risk, small reward. I only lost 8% on the trade, but to me, it was very important to keep the intact win rate, which is not, it's not anymore after today. It's still fine, you know. Yeah, on March I think we're gonna have a big one. I think market was very complacent last FOMC, knowing that there was gonna be 25 basis point, and there was like no question about it, right? 25 basis point, and that's it. And and it's just, I think on the next one, there's a little bit of some hints that we could have a 50 basis point or 25. It's gonna be between 25 and 50. So the bets are on, and we could see an IV spike on the next one FOMC where we can actually make the trade. To answer your question, Modal, I trade futures on TradeObate and Tastyworks sometimes. I haven't touched Tastywork for a little while, but I don't have access to options and features on TradeObate, so when I need to take a position that requires like a hedge or something, let's say like on Tastyworks, because I do have a options or features on Tastyworks, I can take a position. Like, let's say I'm long right now, MBS from 39.89, but I would like to, let's say right now I think it's a peak overnight or whatever. I want to sell some calls overnight. I can sell calls against my position, and you know I'm not able to do that on TradeAway, but I can do it on Tastyworks. Yeah, I agree, Okami. If the strangle fails on that one, I give up as well. Sorry if I missed a little bit of the YouTube comments. It's just I'm bouncing back and forth between the two. Says I forgot jobless and GDP were tomorrow. No, I didn't lose 10 million, 8 million. We'll see. Let's start off. We give enough time. Let's see people that show up. Appreciate it. And all the people that are watching on YouTube, appreciate it as well. So I want to start off with the why did you buy that bottom? I know Nvidia earnings were, I mean, a little bit of the reasons that the market's going up after hours. I know that, but Nvidia, I mean, looking at the rest of the tickers after hours, they're really not that much running. It's just Nvidia, which is fine. I don't think it has that much weight to push the QQQ like that. Uh, but it is running, right? So there's a little bit of optimism on the futures market right now. So right off the bat, we're gonna start off with ES. So at this lows of today, after a bit, one of my rules is that after a big trending day, which like yesterday, I don't expect the next day to be the same. It's very rare that you have two trending days back to back. It happens. I've been there, but it's very rare. The statistical chances of being on back to back trending days is very hard. So I was very nimble in today's trade, knowing that there was a FOMC and whatnot on the minutes, and I just went and tried to catch some kind of the lows, right? So if you can see right now, this daily candle of today's trade in action, ignore this one because this is over. This is after hours right now. We have the low of the day at this trend line right here. So there was a reason for the market to have jumped from here. And ignore the other lines. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna delete them. I'm just gonna keep them. All right. Um, so we have this right here, and I believe if you put a fifth level from this low to this high right here, we end up around the 50% retracement. I I think on the cash market is best seen than this right here because the probably this excess high probably is it's all the way over here instead. It's all the way over here instead. So you can see like a 50% retracement, and we're gonna look at SPX so we can align it to right. But as of the moment, we saw this trend line coming in at the lows right here, and it was enough reason for me to have a long at this trade because there was some confluence into it. I think this level was basically hit overnight. Uh, Not overnight, actually, at the first touch right here. Um, Let me see. Let me see real quick. No, this is not it. This is not it. Okay. All right. So we have that, right? So I was looking at different EMAs, and essentially the weekly 20 EMA was it's a little bit higher on futures. That's the one we hit overnight. So the weekly 20 EMA ended up being somewhere around 39.93. And if you go to like the overnight session below, right? What do we have, like 39.95 or so? The weekly 20 EMA was basically right here. And I thought the moment the market could have bottom right here, but when I saw the cash market had not made it into a weekly 20, I thought that the best case scenario was for the market to fail into a weekly 20. Now we're gonna go a little bit into the SPX. If you guys have any questions, you can shoot them. All right, I'll be looking at the. All right. Right here, SPX. Let me see if I got the clean chart. Charts in chat. No, hold on. Default. SPX clean. Clean again. No. Zoom clan. No. All right. All right. So we're just gonna draw it right now. So you look at that. You look down to the weekly on SPX. Right here is best seen. You can draw your trend line off the lows right here. And see that we were very near that, right? And we were also at the weekly 20 EMA. So this is very important because this could be a full turnaround for the market. And just because of if you take a fifth level on the weekly like this, you're gonna encounter a lot of confluence, right? So you're basically hitting the trend line right here, the weekly 20 and the 50% retracement of this last run up right here. So you have this run, this is 50% of that, and basically, like, I don't know if this is where the market will turn around to the upside right here, right? All I know is that if you're a buyer, there's no best place to buy than right here, right? And possibly you go into another leg up right here, like this. And that's what I'm aiming for in my futures position, and I'm gonna try the SPX one. And I'm gonna try to cut it as soon as I see chance. I'm not gonna speculate too much on it. Futures don't have decay, so I'm gonna stay a little bit more on the futures trade if I can. Trade one contract at a desirable level, and then if I can keep a stop loss at entry on the or in profit at the next contract, that's what I'll do, and try to hit for 4,200 on futures actually, not on a SPX. Something like 4,200 on futures. So those are some bullish reasons, right? Like I am bearish, and everybody knows that I've been trying to short the market a lot. It says right here, Michael says, after market poke new lows, how do you call the exact bottom? I didn't call the exact bottom. Let me let me go. I mean, I tried to. It was not the exact bottom, right? We traded to 39.86, right? But I bought 39.89, and I said I'll have a wide stop loss because I want to see, minimum 50 points, maybe 100 points. I mean, if it goes to 4,200, we're gonna see 200 points on this position, right? So we'll see how it goes. And so this is the reasons, right? And we have one reason, two reasons, and three reasons for this long, and I took the chance. We'll see how it goes. I believe that I did not see anything in particular on NDX. I was trying to find some kind of confluence right here on the fifth levels or something. We have the 50% retracement, but it traded below. It closed the candle right on it, so there's not bearish. It's not exactly bounce up to 50%, right? But it's not a close below it either, right? So meaning that tomorrow, this is a big something to watch out bigly right here because we have a two down and a possibly two up start reversal. So if tomorrow we open up a prior day's high right here on the QQQ, we have a potential candle to go higher, right? It'll be a very bullish sign right there. I don't have a particular trend line on this one. There was no EMA on the weekly. There's nothing that tells me I should really long this. It was not ready. I thought we could hit the 618 and possibly long the QQQ right here, but it's bouncing before that, right? I just wanted to be part of it. And if I had gone into NQ instead of ES, I would have made a lot more points right now. Just look at this overnight right here. The overnight already broke the prior day high, and we have a lot of points to go for, right? We have the daily 20. We have anything that you can take from this candle high to this candle low. It's basically gonna be a bearish entry. So thus, if you're long from here, your targets since those are short entries right here, those are gonna be your long targets, right? So if I'm long QQQ, I'll be looking at something around 12,400, like the 50% retracement or so on NQ or so to trade my position. But I mean, overnight right now, the market is very strong. Like I said, it's weird to see break the highs and stay highs like this after traveling from the lows so early in the session. So we'll see how it holds overnight, right? Tomorrow is gonna be a different story. We have news, right? We have GDP and jobless claims where the market can push higher or dump lower, right? I mean, all I'm saying is that since we have this kind of trend line right here, if the deciding factor is GDP and jobless claims, then we can see a break of this trend line will be very bearish. Will be the 50% retracement break, the trend line break, so I urge you guys to put an alert below this low. I mean, we're gonna be watching it, right? But an alert below this low, and we'll know that that there's a possible trade right here for us to take lower. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Says Jerry T says I try to catch a SPY bottom. Hopefully a bit of a bounce tomorrow or Friday. We'll see. I mean, you're very well in the money. If you're trading futures at SPX, you can close it overnight. That's the beauty of it. If you're in SPY calls, then it's up to the God markets until tomorrow. The market is not out of the woods. I think I short some of this move right here because of different metrics that, let me tell you, they have not changed. They have not changed. In fact, they're actually getting stronger. So we're gonna take a look a little bit to TNX, which is the 10-year yield. And the breakout is still intact. There's no signs of reversals yet. It had a little bit of pause today, but there's no signs of reversals. So the 10-year yields keep going higher. It broke out of this level right here, holding higher as support. So they're pointing higher still. They're pointing higher. If you look at intraday action, yields just kept higher. I mean, they defended this low, close around the highs. The daily candle still counts this action, but what it is of the cash session, I mean, it's still going higher. You can see and stuff like on the bond futures for like the 10-year note that there's no, I mean, as the bonds are going to come down, the yields are going to be going higher, and there's no signs of bottoming on the bonds. There was a sign of bottoming right here, a higher low with a divergence RSI off of this lows right here. There was a sign of bottom, but we don't see that right here yet, right? We still have to see some kind of higher low or something to tell us that the yields are gonna reverse. That the bonds are gonna stop falling and the yields are gonna reverse. We do have a lot of volume on this day, if you notice. So little candle, a lot of volume can mean reversal point. Anybody that has read the volume price analysis book, which is one of my favorites, will tell you that a little bitty candle with big than average volume, it's a sign of a move ending, you know. So the move down may be ending right here. If that's the case, we may see the yields come down, the bullish thesis go on, and TLT recover some ground, right? So we'll see. TLT did not get a lot of trading today, so it was inside the bonds, but not the TLT. So there's no confluence right there. Now another metric that I've been watching a lot that has been helping me with the short is basically the dollar index, which if you notice we're holding the weekly 20, break the weekly 50. I'm sorry, the daily 20, the daily 50, and yeah, that's a summary of the book. So what you see right here, it's still an uptrend on this. There's no signs of reversals yet on the dollar, and that's gonna be bearish on the for the equities, right? So if it's still if this trades higher, still goes higher because of the jobless claims and GDP. This I think this high is in play. This level right here, this low of these two candles right here, plus of that high, this level is in play once it reaches. And but remember, like, it doesn't necessarily mean it does mean bearishness or into the market, but remember that the dollar is tied to a lot to metals, right? Like gold and silver, or tied to crypto, a little bit. Euro, any other currencies, any other pairs currency, euro, the Swiss, and all that. So um, we don't use a one-to-one metric for the market on the dollar index because of that. It's tied to, commodities. The dollar in itself is a commodity, so you can tell, like, if it's some commodities are selling, let's say like gold today. I think oil was down around 3% today. You'll see. Money's coming out of oil will go into cash, and the dollar getting stronger. You know, so that's one of the metrics that we're looking at. Um, Let me see. I'm just gonna take a look at the Russell real quick. I have not do any charting, but you'll see. Let's see. The Russell is also placing a little bit of a bounce at the daily 50. I don't know what this is on the weekly. The weekly 50 as well. So weekly 50 and daily 50, and you see whenever it touches this area, it creates some meaningful bounce, right? Nothing to be joke about. And the candle formation on the daily is basically a two down, two up type of strat reversal. So the trigger comes after you break this high, and we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. It's still making lower lows and lower highs. So whatever you see as a bearish retracement, whatever you can anchor from that move, lower, it's gonna be it could be the potential lower high to then break lower. So always keep an eye. If you're long into this, keep one foot out because it could just be a lower high. Yeah, none of this necessarily means that the market's gonna trade higher. Which just means that we have an immediate small bounce, and I think Andy has been doing in his analysis, like he says, and he sees a target somewhere around this area as well. So I see it as well, which is about 4,100. And if I can align the 50% retracement with some other area on the market, or the 618, that's where I'm gonna try to take my contracts to, or my longs to, right? Because yes, it could recover all of it and more, but it could just be a lower high right here, and then boom, keep dumping right here. So we'll see what the economic data brings, but we already have some setups, right, to trade. So keep your alerts about the prior day high. NQ already did it, so that's an indication. That's one of the markets already indicated, and it's holding higher. That is gonna potentially be high up. Cannot believe I did not long the NQ instead. Fun story, guys. Fun story today. I don't trade big contracts for swings on NQ or on ES. I trade the micros for swings because the margin requirement for swinging the minis is very high, and if I I mean, I wasn't gonna keep a stop loss. I was just gonna keep track of it, some alerts, and then do a stop loss manually because I didn't want to just arbitrarily stop loss, right? And when I saw the possible bottom, I went to rush. I tried to actually buy right here. I believe I tried to buy right here. I believe, and I rushed into my trading platform, and I saw that I had a I didn't see what I had on, right. I had the chart on TradeObey for the NQ instead of NBS, and I bought two contracts long right here, where I saw it waking up. I was like, I saw like 200 plus profit immediately. I was like, what the hell? I don't usually see those on micros, right? And the next thing I know, I'm in minis. I'm like, holy shit! As soon as I saw it coming down, I was excited about the profits, right? But as soon as I saw it coming down, I cut it flat. Not thinking, I cut it flat. Then I went to the NVS and I got my little BD swing that ended up working. But I mean, it's just minis would have been a lot, right? Day trading minis is fine, but swinging minis is a little bit of a. I mean, if it goes wrong, my whole account is gone, right? Uh, and I don't want that. So that was a little bit of the funny story, and we cut, like I said, we cut the bottom on ES, cut the bottom on SPY and SPX, and we'll see what it brings. That's what I got so far. I know it's only 25 minutes. Usually go an hour long. I don't have any setups right now for tomorrow. I'm gonna be looking around, and I think one of my scanners is broken. It just doesn't work right now. If you guys can help me out with a strat scanner for stocks inside the S&P 500 only and stocks outside the S&P 500 so I can filter out, that'll be great, guys. That'll be great because the my scanner ain't working anymore. So it's not updating anymore. So there's something wrong with it. I use Thinkorswim, so anybody has anything on it, that'll be great. Or any website. For the people that use Strat, right? So for people that are unfamiliar, uh, let me show you real quick what the Strat is. Basically, this is the scanner that I use, and this is the Strat combos that come up with it. I'm sorry. And basically, is set up daily candles, and then I get confluenced with EMAs and whatnot. So if people are familiar with the Strat, if you have a scanner, that would be great. Send it over. I will greatly appreciate it. If you have any ticker suggestions that you want me to look at, now is the time, and I'll check it out for you guys. All right. I don't see ticker suggestions. If you want to throw something at me, Jerry, that'll be great. I see you typing. That's why I'm waiting. And on YouTube. Okay, I see. I could have retired tomorrow if I bought that. Yeah. CL. I'm getting a question on CL and oil futures. So oil futures, we have this demand area that they're bouncing out. I don't think there's signs of bottoming yet because there's no like some kind of divergence on our side or anything like that. There's a little bit of a bounce right now, but most likely it's gonna be sold. I mean, we have this what do you call a little bit of an inversion in shoulders. This is the neckline, so it's heading towards it. So I mean, it's a pattern. What would you call this? A bear flag on the daily. I think we might see some more downside on oil futures on later on. We have some kind of bear flag right here. Like even though they're coming up right now, what is this? What is this telling you? Like it's consolidating underneath the weekly 20 MA. I think this can potentially drop into the 62, 65s or so. This is probably gonna be our next swing, Michael. Probably gonna probably gonna be our next oil short soon. If we can get a good entry, That'll be great, right? It's gonna be tough because the entry was around the weekly 20 MA, which is gone, and you're gonna have to refer to any kind of fib that makes sense, right? So somewhere around like 73, 75.34, 75.80, 75.80 to down, or not even. I mean, not even. Probably gonna have to look into somewhere like an hourly resistance, somewhere like this level right here, 70, around 75 and down. Or look at the hourly 20 MA. Hourly 20 MA is acting as resistance one, two, three times. This is shortable once it comes up to it. And then maybe we can see the black break of the bear flag. And then maybe we can get into some swing shorts on oil companies and whatnot. Uh, it says model is saying to look at BCC, Voice Cascade Company. This is after earnings, so this is a post earnings play with a market digesting the earnings, right? You see some upside into it. There was a big sell, recover everything into it. So this name right here, recover this trend line with 20. There's a little, it just went to fill a gap and drop. So you will like to see recover the EMAs. Recover the EMAs on this name and recover this low right here, because you see this whole, there's a whole like selling area right here. I guess your supply area is gonna have to, this level gonna have to recover for you to be feeling bullish into this. Um, this level's gonna have to recover, and you're gonna have to see it above this resistance, so you can be bullish on it. You know, because that's a big supply, and then you're gonna be encountering, I mean, the something big right here, a big mega supply right here. So, but first thing first, you would like to see it above 75.37 or so, to see it higher into probably this high, you know, into this high, and then you'll worry about that resistance area level later. There's no fibs to base on. This is a post earnings reaction, so a little bit of a wonky action, but that's all I see. Tesla does look like I don't know if you noticed, but the market kind of dumped into the close, and then, I mean, not into the close, but before the close, and then recover. And Tesla did not flinch. I was short Tesla. I was short Tesla around this area and did not flinch. So looking at the daily on Tesla, it's bouncing a little bit before the daily 20, so that's bullish. It's a two down, two abstract reversal. So above this high, it's gonna be, place your alerts about today's high. It's gonna be a long entry into into the high. Remember that the fifth levels of the last drop are this right here. So you'll notice that Tesla needs to trade above this resistance, which is also a 15-minute resistance right here, to be a long setup, which is around 203.55. If that happens, I mean, Tesla did not even flinch to the downside, right? On the minutes. So if that happens, if it trades above this, it's gonna be a long trigger, a push higher, possibly a good setup for tomorrow. So yeah, we're probably gonna do try to do a big swing on oil, and gamble. I see your worriness about the calls are dead, but I pretty much will think that people swinging puts are probably in the worry right now. In the worry, but it's we have economic data, so anything can happen. I don't chant victory until everything's clear, right? So that's it. That's all I got for you guys, and I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I thank you for trusting in Cubito, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate it. Cubito out.